Now we fly back into the kitchen, and I think we're going to be making something really interesting. It looks like probably the healthiest thing we've made in the entire time I've been on the show.
What about this morning? I mean, that was healthy too.
I wasn't there. Amy Hopkins now joins us, of course, our tome of information on all things health-related, and we are talking specifically to pregnant women out there. We know that a pregnant woman needs more calcium, folic acid, iron, and protein than a woman who is not expecting. That's according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. So this morning,
well done.
I know that was quite a mouthful, but we know we focus on health matters on a Tuesday, and we're focusing specifically on making sure that you are giving your unborn baby the health that it needs, but also yourself as a pregnant woman. So what are we making?
Well, first of all, we're making a Preggie-friendly curry. A lot of pregnant women actually complain about the smell of meat, and they don't want to eat meat anymore, so this is a vegetarian curry. And at the same time, it still gives you that great protein, because as you can see, we've got our lovely lentils in here, and our chickpeas, which have protein as well as fiber, and folate. And now I know you mentioned earlier folic acid and folate, very important. So we've got our spinach for that, as well as the lentils contain that, so that's fantastic. And then vitamin C from our lovely tomatoes, and we've got our lovely spices and flavors to tie it all together. I was going to say, because deliciousness is almost as important, because you want to enjoy eating a healthy diet on top of that. And we've got obviously our no-lac milk over here, so if you're struggling with lactase, you can absolutely have this milk. It is very important for pregnant women to have a higher intake of calcium. So calcium occurs naturally, obviously, in your leafy greens like spinach as well, but in milk as well. So
boom! This looks like,
really,
as I said, probably the healthiest thing we've made on the show, but it also does look delicious. So let's dive right in. So I'm just going to start quickly by adding a little bit of coconut oil. You can obviously use olive oil as well, just into a big, lovely cooking dish. And DISCHEM have a great range of coconut oils. You don't always have to go for the. I mean, this is an odorless one, which is quite nice when you're cooking savoury things, but you don't necessarily want a coconut. Of course, I mean, with curry generally that's fine, because you know those little coconut flavours are quite lovely. So we're just going to do a bit of chopped onion, and then our lovely garlic, ginger, and chili. Winning combination for keeping you healthy, keeping your immune system high, and for deliciousness. Exactly, and obviously, you know, you struggle with keeping your immune system high and strong. Also, while you're pregnant, you can't take a lot of meds, so you need to just make sure you really look after yourself. So that's our, and of course it's the flavour. Yeah, so it adds a little bit of a zing, and that's thing. You want a curry to pack a punch, ultimately. Yes.
And then we've got some lovely turmeric and curry spice. Now, if you obviously don't want to have too much of a spicy curry, say now you're struggling with indigestion, just hold back on the chili. But you do want that lovely turmeric, because that helps with inflammation and stuff like that. And as you can smell now, it's making
turmeric also doubles as like a food and skin dye. So just be careful when you're working with the paste or the powder.
Don't touch it.
Just don't touch it or get it on your clothes.
And then we're going to add our tomatoes over here. So this is just a tin of whole tomatoes. They'll kind of break up by themselves as they carry on cooking.
And that's our vitamin C. And it's also worth knowing that you cook your spices first. When cooking a curry, you always get those flavors out right from the onset.
So once that starts bubbling away, we can start adding our chickpeas, our sweet potato.
Nice.
Sweet potato is another great one, because it also has good folic acid. So folic acid is obviously the key thing that you need to make sure you've got a lot of intake of while you're pregnant, or when you find out you're pregnant.
And remember, this doesn't replace supplementation, because you really do need to look at that when you are pregnant. Exactly. As I've learned through Lindsay's process.
Exactly. So now, what we'd normally do is wait a little while for everything to cook down, but I'm just going to prep this quickly now. So we'd add the lentils.
Did you parboil or pre-cook the sweet potato in any way?
No, you kind of let this, you can do it raw, and you let it now, so once you put everything together, set it aside for about 25 minutes or so for it to cook. But luckily we've got a ready-made dish right over here. So we're just going to add some of this lovely no-lac milk in. There we go.
Thank you, Clover, for providing something that I think a lot of lactose intolerant people are like rejoicing in. Now, the keyword here, if you'd like to recreate this for yourself at home, is a curry to 33728. Yes, it is curry to 33728. We'll send you a link. Click on the link, and the recipe is yours.
Yes. So right over here, we've got a dish of ready-made, nicely sizzled and cooked lentil curry. So what we're going to just do is pour in a little bit more of this to just loosen it up, because as you can see, it gets nice and thick.
Just give it a bit more saucy component.
Exactly, and then we're going to put in some of this beautiful spinach and just kind of mix this together.
And I always do, you just want the spinach to warm through. You don't want it to break down or become soggy.
That's why we always just put it through right at the end. You just kind of want to stir it in together. There we go, that's beautiful. Thank you. There we go. And then we're just going to plate it up. So it's really ready and simple and easy.
Perfect.
So look at that. You just want the spinach to start mixing in, wilting slightly.
You want it to keep that fresh pop of green colour, because then you know you're keeping the nutrients. I'll keep this in place. Again, that keyword is curry to 33728. It smells amazing. So we haven't compromised any of the flavour in creating.
Look at that.
I think a very healthy dish, but one that is specifically geared for pregnant women to make sure that you get all of those vital nutrients.
Absolutely. And you can eat this just as it is, or you can serve it with a little bit of brown rice, a very good natural kind of healthy fibre boosting
you've got some carbs in there.
Yeah, you've got everything you need just in that bowl.
Not necessarily a portion this size, but I'm going to give it a taste. Oh, wow.